Hey everybody, Josh Winkler with Cripple Concepts here again. This week I'm going to start what will be probably, probably 10, 20 part series. I've been working on a project I've had the idea for a few years, and I've been acquiring parts for about a year now to build a wheelchair accessible skid steer. I grew up in a farming community back in western New York, and worked on small farms when I was a teenager, and I missed kind of running some heavy equipment. And skid steers are usually two joysticks to run the forward and backwards motion of both sides, and then a joystick or usually the foot pedals, actually the ones I'm familiar with, to run the bucket up and down. And so it's something that I think I can modify, and I actually looked at buying a skid steer and modifying it, but they're ridiculously expensive. So instead I decided, well, I'll just design and build my own. So quick shot to a CAD image here of the latest and greatest idea that I've got. And I've started, like I say, acquiring the parts. Behind me you can see a couple hydraulic pumps, the 4 motors. Each wheel will have its own wheel motor. Actually running an engine off a motorcycle. I'll show that in a separate video, the actual engine I'm going to use. I think I had pretty much everything I need at this point. My parents are coming into town for a couple of weeks, and number one on my dad's to-do list is to help me finish fabbing this thing up. I've got to bend some tubing, got to finish welding up the frame, I got to remove the engine from the motorcycle, get it installed, plumb all the hydraulics. Yeah, it's going to be quite the endeavor, but I think it's going to be a really fun project. I think it's going to be a neat little machine. There's a program called Agribility that actually buys a lot of equipment. It's to help farmers with disabilities who farm for a living, continue to be able to do what they like to do and farm. So I actually think there's a market for these in the future. If things work out well for the one I'm building, I could potentially build, not a lot, 2 or 3 a year to sell and actually make some money off these things. Yeah, we'll document the process as we go. Like I say, I got all the hydraulic parts in. These are the motors and hubs behind me. The 2 pumps to run the motors, and then I got another pump that will run the hydraulics for the forks. Bidding on some auction stuff today, hoping to buy a bucket and a quick mount plate today from an auction. And this thing's going to come together. So over the next several weeks, I'm not going to guarantee every week it'll be a skid steer video, but I'll throw something in the title about wheelchair accessible skid steer. So if you're interested in following the series, there'll be a bunch of these videos. Like I say, I think this is going to be a neat project. It's going to take a while. I'm not going to lie, it's gotten a lot more expensive than I thought it was gonna. That's why it's taken me a while to acquire all the parts and pieces to build it. But we're close now. We're real close. So stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll keep posting videos over the next several weeks as the build continues.